Like many others, Elon Musk has expressed dissatisfaction with LGBTQ+ Pride Month. He has made controversial statements that reveal his transphobic views. For example, when the Twitter account InWokeness shared photos suggesting that LGBTQ+ individuals had taken over New York City and possibly London, Elon responded by denying their oppression. Elon's transphobic comments didn't stop there. In response to a news article about Texas banning what liberals call gender-affirming care for children, including treatments like puberty blockers and surgeries, Elon called it pure evil. He even responded to another tweet discussing gender-affirming care for children, stating that it would result in being transformed into a eunuch, referencing Brian Stelter. Before we discuss this in detail, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. On June 1st, LGBTQ+ Pride Month officially began. This year, it started earlier in May to accommodate the desires of the Marxists who wanted to extend LGBT Pride season. However, the official kickoff of June 1st brought about Twitter's head of trust and safety resignation. It appears that Elon Musk, in an unusually considerate move, gave her the choice to resign or face termination. This decision was due to the complete upload of Matt Walsh's documentary What is a Woman by the Daily Wire on Twitter. This allowed people to watch it for free as the platform now allows long-form content. Unfortunately, Twitter responded by censoring the video, adding a hate speech warning, and restricting retweets and comments due to an alleged policy violation. Elon, upon learning about this incident, became furious. It took some time for him to find out about it since he has a busy schedule managing multiple companies including Twitter, Tesla, SpaceX, The Boring Company, and Neuralink. Nonetheless, his frustration led to the departure of the head of trust and safety entrusted with safeguarding free speech. Elon Musk retweeted the documentary, emphasizing that every parent should watch it. This action caused a significant uproar in the liberal media, which reacted strongly. Many people may not be aware that this issue hits close to home for Elon. One of his sons, Xavier, recently turned 18 and now identifies as a woman. Xavier went through a name change, altering both their first and last name, and wants no involvement with Elon. Unlike some celebrities who may influence their children to become transgender through a psychological condition known as Munchausen by proxy, Elon is deeply troubled by his son's decision. Regarding the documentary itself, titled What is a Woman, although I'm not particularly fond of the Daily Wire, I must admit that it is a remarkable production. It serves as a powerful tool to raise awareness about crucial matters. However, let me express my personal opinion here. I find Ben Shapiro, one of the prominent figures at the Daily Wire, to be an incredibly irritating individual, a disingenuous, money-focused neoconservative. Despite that, I could still find some solace in the wealth I've amassed. Now, let's move on to another mature topic, shall we? While I commend Matt Walsh for the success of his film and its ability to address these important issues, it represents the farthest extent of right-leaning perspectives that the Daily Wire as a whole will venture into. According to the conservative media, Ben Shapiro, known as the Daily Wire's co-founder, prominent figure, and leading voice in today's conservatism, surprisingly supports same-sex marriage. However, I can't help but add a mocking tone when I say marriage, because simply using that term implies acceptance of it. In response to someone insinuating in June 2020 that he didn't endorse same-sex marriage, he replied, "I've been libertarian on same-sex marriage for years before Obergefell. It's a shame that people couldn't take a moment to research." By the way, Obergefell refers to the name of a Supreme Court case decided in 2015. During this landmark ruling, the highest court in the country required everyone, particularly Christians, to redefine the concept of marriage, a change I refuse to embrace. Since then, society has embarked on a slippery slope that we are currently sliding down. The well-known Republicans in Congress, as well as the so-called conservative talk show hosts and political commentators, are now more progressive in their views compared to the Democratic Party of less than a decade ago. Speaking about the definition of marriage, I firmly believe that it should be understood as the union between a man and woman. As a Christian, I consider marriage a sacred bond with God being integral in it. I believe that marriage should only be between a man and a woman, and states must honor this principle. So, why would we need a constitutional amendment? Marriage has traditionally been understood as between a man and a woman. What is going on here? Can you recall any Republican member of Congress in the past 8 years since the Supreme Court decision that altered the definition of marriage, openly opposing same-sex marriage? What happened to the Republican stance against allowing LGBTQ+ individuals to serve in the military? It used to be an issue where both Republicans and Democrats agreed, at least until the second term of the Obama administration when the ban was lifted and the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy was abolished. However, this change brought about several consequences that any reasonable person could have anticipated, although discussing these effects seems discouraged. Regarding Republicans in Congress and conservative media figures like the Daily Wire, their views seem to be divided. Most of them, except for Matt Walsh, seem to draw the line regarding transgender individuals and transgenderism. They don't have an issue with gay, lesbian, and bisexual individuals. Still, they express opposition specifically towards transgender matters. This is where they feel it has gone too far. They prefer not to be labeled homophobic, but they seem more accepting of being called transphobic. They need to emphasize that they support the LGBT community, but have reservations about transgender individuals. Jeremy Boring, CEO of the Daily Wire, denounced a homophobic article on their website showing an LGBT flag on the set of the Christian series The Chosen. Boring apologized for running the piece, defending the flag's presence as a sign of support for a diverse cast. The debate sparked conversations about fetish symbols and the Navy's removal of LGBTQ+ posts. Addressing the broader issue, Boring called for medical research to understand the cause without stigmatizing, as equating it to mental illness is banned by big tech platforms and calling it a congenital disability is deemed offensive. BPA, known as bisphenol A, is a synthetic estrogen that California now requires warning labels on its products due to potential harm to developing babies and the female reproductive system. BPA is commonly found in plastics, food containers, and even clothing made with synthetic fibers. Wearing such clothes can result in exposure to BPA levels exceeding safety limits by 20 or 30 times. In her book, The End of Gender, Dr. Deborah So highlights scientific research indicating that elevated estrogen levels in the womb during male-fetal development can affect the brain. Specifically, the INAH region of the hypothalamus responsible for gender identity and sexual orientation may become feminized, resembling the brain area found in girls. Some believe the surge in transgender identification stems from a social contagion caused by exposure to transgender content online. While the liberal media deny the theory, its dismissal adds credibility. Others attribute it to atypical hormone levels during fetal development, but labeling it as a congenital disability is deemed offensive and eugenic. If substances like BPA alter hormone levels in mothers, resulting in opposite-sex brain regions, acknowledging a widespread societal impact would have grave repercussions, potentially prompting the medical establishment to conceal the truth. There are individuals known as detransitioners who previously identified as transgender, but eventually decided to return to their original birth identity. One notable case is Chloe Cole, who underwent a double mastectomy at a young age, around 16, and is now suing the hospital. Another example involves a former Navy SEAL who transitioned to a transgender woman, but later detransitioned and now advises parents on this matter. These personal experiences lend credibility to the social contagion theory. However, the truth surrounding this issue appears to be deliberately concealed, with society mainly promoting transgenderism as a positive and progressive phenomenon. Unfortunately, suppose any doctor dares to express a desire to search for a cure or intervention. In that case, their professional career may be jeopardized. And that's it for today. We hope you found our video interesting. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with others. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new uploads. In the end, thanks for watching and see you next time.